Welcome back. The Grant Public Utility District has $7.5 million budgeted for fiber optic and broadband expansion, but isn't sure how it will be spent. A group of private internet service providers asked the PUD Board of Commissioners about the state of expansion during their Tuesday meeting. Manager Tony Webb said the PUD will spend $2.5 million on maintenance, operations, and upkeep of the system, and $1 million on expanding the broadband network to rural areas. The remaining $3.5 million have yet to be allocated. Webb added the initial plan is to use part of the funds for installing automated meters to measure broadband usage. The district is also looking to expand service in 10 areas, including Cooley City, Quincy, George, and Mattawa. A Quincy man is serving more than a year in prison for molesting a 9-year-old girl. Jaime Robles Quezada, a 41-year-old man, entered an Alford plea to assault in the 3rd degree with an aggravating factor of committing the crime with a sexual motivation. The plea means Robles Quezada doesn't admit to committing the crime, but felt he would be convicted if the case went to trial. Prosecutors initially charged the man with child molestation in the 1st degree, and the charge was lessened as a part of a plea agreement, and he was sentenced to a year and 2 months in prison. Robles Quezada touched the victim inappropriately while he was visiting her parents' home in Quincy. The victim told police he touched her inappropriately 4 times and told her not to tell anyone. Robles Quezada admitted to police he touched the victim once, but claimed it wasn't sexually motivated. In Northwest news, an Oregon woman says she bought a puppy on Craigslist and had to put the animal down 24 hours after she took it home. Veterinarians say the pup was sick with parvo. The woman claims she was tricked by the breeder. Reed Andrews reports.
This face is definitely worth driving 2 hours to pick up.
She was really quiet on the way home. She was sleepy, but we figured she was a puppy and that's what she would do.
Kristen Jondal saw an ad on Craigslist for an Akita mix. She met the seller Saturday in a Lacey, Washington parking lot, so she named the dog Lacey. The next morning, once they were home, Lacey started to vomit regularly.
At that point, I said, okay, I need to take her to the vet and figure out what's going on.
Vets looked at Lacey and quickly determined she had parvo.
She was not going to get any better. It was time that we needed to figure out if we wanted to proceed with a blood transfusion and keep her on oxygen or to let her go, but they said.
You can tell by the pain in Kristen's voice it wasn't an easy decision. She knew Lacey wouldn't survive, so she put the dog down.
You had to have known that she was sick.
Kristen is hurt by the loss of the dog and left feeling ripped off and taken advantage of.
They're awful people. But I don't understand how somebody could do this to somebody looking for a puppy.
The CDC warns that cases of flu are still way up across the country, and the current flu vaccine isn't working well against one common strain of the flu, plus flu season isn't even close to being over. Eric Gonzalez has more.
The Idaho Department of Health and Welfare says there's been a dramatic increase in flu deaths in Idaho. They say the state is on track to beat the average of 20 deaths a year from the flu, yet we're still in the midst of the flu season.
We fully anticipate we're going to see additional deaths before the season is over.
Health and Welfare says that there haven't been any reports of infant deaths in the state so far, but they say nationwide there have been cases of child deaths from the flu this season.
Mortality that we've seen this year is in people that are significantly older, well over 50, and many of them over 80.
Doctors say it's not too late to get vaccinated if you haven't already. They say this season there are several strains of the flu that are going around.
It's better to have some protection than none.
And I'm so happy we've escaped it. And our kids are happy, they aren't sick and we're not sick, so that's pretty exciting for us.
Dr. Tengelson says that besides getting vaccinated, the best way to avoid getting sick is to wash your hands frequently and cover coughs and sneezes. You also may want to avoid anyone that appears to be sick. The doctor says there are still plenty of doses of the vaccine to go around. Eric Gonzalez, KBOI News, Boise.
And that's going to do it for us here at iFIBER 1 News. We want to thank you for watching, and we'll see you again tomorrow.